Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over pro player best settings for controller and graphics. I'm a 7-time Call of Duty champion with over 10 plus years of pro player experience and hundreds of thousands of dollars earned. We're going to go over the best controller settings and graphic settings for you guys today. Let's go ahead and talk about the graphic settings first, and we'll follow it up with the audio and controller settings right after. For graphic settings, let's go ahead and get right into it. For display, we're going to make sure you have this set to full screen exclusive. For display monitor, have it set as your main primary monitor. If you have a dual PC setup, make sure you have it set to the primary monitor that you're going to be gaming on. For display adapter, it's going to be whatever your graphics card is. Screen refresh rate, this is a huge one. Make sure you guys go in and check it. Me personally, I play on a 240 hertz monitor, so you're going to want to make sure your screen refresh rate is set on your Windows settings and on the game to 240. If not, you will not be playing to your maximum hertz refresh rate, which will hinder your gameplay and your overall experience for graphics. The display resolution, I personally, again, have a 1440p monitor. Most of you may have a 1080p monitor. Make sure you have it selected to whatever your monitor is. If you don't know, you can look up the model number in Google and go ahead and figure out what your hertz is or what your resolution is, and you can do it that way. Aspect ratio, I have it set to 16:9. The display gamma, I have it at 2.2. For brightness, I leave this always at 50. You can adjust it if necessary, but I like it at 50. For NVIDIA Reflex low latency, make sure you have it set to on. For echo mode preset, I have it at custom. VSync gameplay, I have it off. VSync menus, I have it off. Custom frame rate limit, I have this on unlimited. This you can sit there and cap if you want and go back and forth with it, but I like it at unlimited. I get really high FPS if I have it this way. Focus mode, I have it 0. High dynamic range, I have off. HDR brightness, this is all grayed out. For the quality, this is where it gets tricky, and you're going to want to make sure you follow along quickly. Pause the video if you need to. I have this set to recommended. This is going to be PC specific, depending on your specs, but this is what I have. I have a 4090 and a 13900K. Render resolution, again, make sure this is on 100. Dynamic resolution, have this at off. Upscaling, sharpening, I put it on fidelity cast and then click the drop down here and put it up to 100, or you can play with it. I have mine on 90. I feel like 100 looks a little too sharp, so I have it drop down to 90, but overall, this will make your game look a lot smoother and clearer. VRAM scale target, I have at 80. Variable rate shading on. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation off. Texture resolution, again, I have it 4090, so I have it set on high. If not, I'll probably play on normal. Texture filter, a normal. Depth of field, make sure you turn this off. It'll look horrible if you don't. Detail quality level, high. Particle resolution, very low. Bullet impacts on. Persistent effects, off. Shader quality, high. On-demand texture streaming, off. Local texture streaming quality, low. Shader quality, or shadow quality, sorry, low. Screen space shadows, off. Ambient occlusion, off. Screen space reflections, off. Static reflection quality, low. Tessellation, near. Terrain memory, max. Volumetric quality, low. Deferred physics quality, off. Weather grid volumes, off. This is stuff that just got added into the game, and honestly, you don't need any of it on. It's just going to lower your FPS, and it doesn't really up the quality of the game too much. For wave wetness, I have it set, or I have water quality set to wave wetness. For the view, this is an important one. For field of view, guys, this is all going to be dependent on whether you're trying to be a competitive player or if you're just playing casually. If you're just playing casually, 120 looks good. But for multiplayer, if you want to have aim assist, I would definitely not play on anything higher than 103. You'll notice a huge difference. The lower your FOV, the smaller the character, or the bigger the characters are going to look in game. It's going to shrink your screen down. The bigger the FOV, it's going to make it look a lot bigger. Characters are going to look smaller, going to have less visual recoil, but it's going to be harder to get aim assist and see players at longer ranges. ADS field of view, I have set to affected. Weapon field of view is wide. There's a new setting they put in the game. Wide basically makes your weapon look smaller so you can see more around you while you're running around the map. Third person field of view, I have it set to 80. Vehicle field of view, wide. Motion blur and weapon motion blur. Make sure you guys turn both of these off. It'll make your game look absolutely horrible. You're not going to know what in the world's going on. Film grain, turn that all the way down to 0. And then the camera movement, if it feels like you're in war and your screen's shaking like crazy, the default is at 100. I have no idea why. Put it all the way down to least for both of these at 50%. Third person ADS there. Spectator camera game perspective, and then inverted flashbang. You can turn this if you want. If you get tired of seeing white when you get flashbang, you can turn it to black. But for me, it makes me feel like my monitor's turned off, so I don't even mess with that. For the audio settings, let's go ahead and go over this. I have my audio set to home theater. I've talked to a lot of audio specialists, and this is personally the best one for me. Home theater basically does a good job of making the high frequencies not too high and the low frequencies not too low. It kind of just gives you a middle ground all the way across. This for me is the best. I think everything else kind of just feels like drowned out, whether it's too loud on the gunshots or too quiet on the footsteps, whatever it may be. I personally love home theater, but I have some audio tweaking and some settings that I've went through, like I said, with some audio technicians, and this for me is personally the best. I use earbuds, Sennheiser earbuds, and it sounds fantastic while I'm gaming the entire time. Speakers and output, this is going to be all personal preference. But then this is where it gets a little tricky. For master volume, I have it set to 80. Gameplay music, I always turn this off. You don't really need the gameplay music. It doesn't help you in game or out of game at all. It really just crowds the gameplay music while you're playing the game, like in Search and Destroy. It'll make all that extra dramatic noise. I personally think it's a waste. Again, I don't use it at all, so I definitely turn it down to 0. Dialogue volume, I have this set to 50. Effects volume at 100. Voice chat volume, this is all personal preference again. Then for the cinematic music volume, I have it set to 0. You really don't need that or the gameplay. It's just going to be a lot of cluttered audio for really no reason. And we're trying to hear footsteps. We're trying to hear gunshots. We're trying to hear our teammates, right? At the end of the day, we don't need to hear anything else. Then the rest of this stuff, I'll run through it, but this is going to be, again, personal preference for the most part here. Then, yeah, let's go ahead and get on over to the most important part. The controller settings. If you want to be aiming like the pros and absolutely beaming, put these controller settings on. First, go ahead and change your aiming input device to controller. Get off the mouse and keyboard. What are we doing? We're playing Call of Duty. For the button layout, this is going to be personal preference, but I've been playing on tactical flipped for as long as I can remember before scuffs and battle beavers were ever a thing. So definitely check out the tactical flipped if you don't have one of the special controllers. I got a battle beaver, so I can basically jump and punch at the same time, never move my thumbsticks off or my fingers off of the thumbsticks. It just basically allows you to do 2 more button functions, and it's really OP. If you want to become a pro player, or you want to be a competitive player, or just get better at the game in general, I would definitely highly recommend investing into a battle beaver, and you can use code SLACKED for 10% off your purchase. Bumper ping I have turned off. Again, I shoot with the bumpers instead of the triggers, so I have this flipped. Stick layout is set to preset or is default. Controller vibration I have off. This will actually help improve your shot. I would definitely play around with it. If you already play with controller vibration off, turn it off. Trust me, it's going to take time to get used to, but I promise you it's all worth it. Dead zone inputs, these are a very big one. If you feel like your shot is terrible and you're missing, definitely go over these. The default always is set to 10 on this. I have the left stick down to 1 and the left stick maximum to 80. Basically what that means is when my thumbstick hits 80% to the ring of the controller, instead of having to hit all the way to the front of the ring, I reach maximum sprint speed. So it allows you to have better movement, better strafe speed, instead of having to go all the way to the 100. But if you lower any more than 80, you're probably going to mess up your movement if you're jumping on ledges or trying to do jump spots or something like that. For the right stick minimum, this is your aiming stick. I have it set to 3, maximum 99. This will basically feel like you have less input delay, and overall, whenever you're moving your right stick, it feels like it's instantly doing it up on the screen. Obviously, if you have a higher refresh rate monitor, it's going to hinder you a little bit, but definitely make sure you lower this. I promise you guys it'll help your aim tremendously. For the left trigger and right trigger, I have this set to default. Again, I have a battle beaver, so basically what that means is I have hair triggers. So it's like a mouse click on my triggers and my bumpers. So I really don't need to lower this, but if you do not have this and cannot afford it, then I would definitely look into lowering that, because it'll allow you to react much faster than you normally can. For aiming, let's talk about sensitivity here. I play on 6.6. I've been a pro player for 10 plus years. I've never had a problem whether it's too fast or too slow for me. 6.6.1 is, I personally think, the best sensitivity to hit the long range shots and also adjust your range, close range. I would definitely not play on anything higher than this. I think it's going to be a little too quick. You're going to miss longer shots, and up close, you're going to feel like you're probably missing, or those micromanagement adjustments that you're making are going to throw you off on a faster sensitivity. For the multiplier, again, I just said I play at 1. I don't touch any of this stuff. It gets a little too tricky for me and confusing. I personally think it's a waste of a setting. I miss the days in Call of Duty back in the day whenever it used to just be super simple. I miss the days back in Call of Duty when it used to just be super simple and you would change it to 6.6.1 and that's all you did. Vertical aim access, I don't touch. The tac stance, I don't touch. Aim response curve type makes you change it to dynamic. This has been a thing since Modern Warfare 2019, and it's absolutely broken. I would definitely highly recommend you guys put that on. Then going down all the way to aim assist, this is the most important one. I play on Black Ops. I feel like they buffed it in this game. It's a lot better than default. I've been a default user for a long time, but I feel like I don't get aim assist at long range. So definitely put on the Black Ops there. Then the motion sensitive behavior, make sure you have it to off. For gameplay, this is all personal preference, but I play on automatic tactical sprint. This is basically allows you to just push your left stick forward. You don't have to click it in, which helps with movement, helps with overall fluidity of the game, and helps you feel just really a lot better on the map. For tactical sprint behavior, on double tap, ground and mantle on. This new feature here at slide dive behavior, make sure you guys have it on slide only. This will allow you to have like that Modern Warfare 2019 movement, and everything will feel a lot better. Then for the rest of these settings, they're all pretty default. I don't think I've changed too much in here, but these will definitely help you guys improve your gameplay tenfold and overall just a better experience while you're gaming. Now that you have all the best graphics settings and controller settings, as well as audio, you guys will be absolutely beaming. Hit that sub button and make sure to comment down below what other types of videos you guys would like to see. Until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.